I'm ready when you are.
Okay, I may just do this one quick copy here. Okay.
Okay, so as we talked about before, we were talking about doing a project where for our RWS 503 class where try to raise funding for public schools in
Yeah.
City
Yeah.
Heights.
What is RWS 503, by the way?
Rhetoric and writing studies.
Yeah, but what is it? I mean, is it like a community service course or?
It's the course that we're in is focuses on beginning professional writing.
Oh, okay.
So for students who are taking classes how to write professionally. So
Oh,
like for
okay.
example, work in the workforce.
Yeah.
Like for example, you say one student would want to learn how to write proposals for like a company, or learn how to write memos or whatever
Oh,
projects.
okay.
So like kind of like the beginning steps, or that would lead towards project management.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds like a good course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and for our project, we decided that we're going to try to attempt to do a project. We're going to be honest and say we're not 100% sure it will be successful,
Mm-hmm.
but we would like to still like work on the first phase of the project, see if we can get enough data to see if this project is possible.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that for a report, we'll still have some something to go on
Yeah.
to figure out, okay, is this project doable?
Okay. Yeah, that's a good step.
Okay, and I guess I'll ask you a couple
Sure.
questions. Let me just get them up. Hold on. Okay. Oops. Here we go. So just to get started, just for the project, what your name is Dr. Leland Beck, obviously.
Yeah.
And how would you describe your current job title with the Department of Computer Science?
I'm the department chair.
Okay, department chair. Let me just write all this down.
Sure.
Okay. All right. How important would you say is funding is to your department? I know these are obvious questions.
Well, of
but...
course, it's probably the most important. Well, one of the most
Mhm.
important things anyway, because funding really controls our ability to do the things that we need to do and would like to do.
Like, can you give me an example?
Um, hiring enough faculty members
Mhm.
to teach our courses, being able to offer courses. We sometimes hire lecturers from industry to teach courses in specialty areas.
Mhm.
Um, supporting our graduate students. Almost everything we do takes money, and in the university, really almost all of the money that the academic side has access to is about salaries.
Okay. All right. Got that. Okay. Um. Okay. My next question is: are you aware of the funding issues that affect City Heights' educational system, and that this affects their students' experience and abilities of the staff working there? Are you familiar with it?
I don't know specifically about City Heights, but I have the impression, from reading in papers that schools everywhere are having
Right.
trouble.
Right, because our project would be focused on City Heights, but you are aware of the the schools in the county being affected by it. Correct?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm aware that they issued a bunch of layoff notices to teachers.
Right. Okay. Okay. My next question is: do the students of your department know how to make applications for mobile devices, and do they have any resources to learn if they are not able to?
Um, Not all of our students would know how to do that. We do offer a course in mobile application development.
Oh, okay.
Certainly, the students who had taken that course would be able to know how to do it.
Okay, so students in that class would be able to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. My next question is: would you and your department be interested in creating an application that would generate funding for Education City Heights if this project were to go through?
There we get into an area where I can't really speak for the department. I mean,
Okay.
I'm kind of skipping ahead as far as what I know
Right.
where I know you're headed with this,
Mm-hmm.
and so. I mean, it sounds like you would be needing to look for students, let's say, who would want to do this on a volunteer basis, just to give service back to the community because they thought it would be um, good experience for them, whatever. Some of them might conceivably, I mean, in the mobile application development course, students would be doing a course project. Some of them might conceivably be able to do it
Mm-hmm.
in that way.
Okay, so you personally would not be able to speak on that, basically.
I couldn't, right, because I'm don't have the specific experience myself to be able to do this,
Mm-hmm.
and or frankly the time, either one.
Okay, so I'm assuming that assuming sake of argument that this department would be able to help with this project, would they be willing to, if this project would go through, of course, would they be willing to help create? Hold on, I wrote this down. Sorry. Work with our team to be able to help create this, make this project possible. If this were to be helpful, like for example, creating these applications that would help high school students in City Heights or any other place in the county.
Well, sure. If this turned out to be something that we or somebody from this department could do, then of course we'd have no trouble at all
Okay.
working with you or anybody.
Okay. Let me write that. Okay. Um. Okay. What else? I think that's. Oh, here we go. Would would your Okay. Sorry, I have my brain's a mess right now.
It's okay. Not a problem.
Would you want to work as friends? Okay. So again, like this is related to the previous question. Assuming for the sake of argument that this project goes through, would the compiled team from this department be willing to work with our team, promising high school students knowing there would be no pay for their time if it was done for volunteer basis?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think we said before,
Right.
it sounds like that's what you're looking for is a volunteer basis. So, yeah, anybody who's willing to do it
Okay, I just wanted
would be
to.
willing to do it on a
Right, I just
volunteer
wanted to
basis.
clarify
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Okay, thank
yeah.
you. And I assume that if this project goes through, your team would be making the application design, correct? Well, let me phrase the question. Like,
Yeah.
would your team create the designated application?
Well, I think I'm not sure exactly where this goes in your. Maybe this is a good place to bring this up. I mean, I kind of shared this idea to the professor who teaches the mobile app development course, and I said, what do you think of this? Is it doable? How hard would it be? And he read it, spent a significant amount of time looking through it, and his first comment was, it worries him. And the reason, I think it's a good worry that he has. Systems like this, especially dealing with credit card numbers, have to have really good security. And you'd have to have not only the mobile app, but you'd have to have a back end of the database that stored people's names and credit card information,
right,
and all that. And you've probably seen in the news that a big credit card payment service just got hacked.
Okay,
so it's something that would have to be, and this is really my main concern about it.
Right.
You'd have to have really good security. It means you'd have to have a secure server to host the database on, and you'd have to have people that were really good at making it bulletproof. I think probably beyond the capabilities of most student programmers.
Okay.
I mean, professionals write this kind of stuff and they get hacked. So students,
right.
I think actually for what you have in mind, I think it's a really good idea, a really good project. I think you'd probably be better off. There are some a bunch of services out there with something called Script that let you do Script, SCRIP. If you Google Script, you'll come up with a bunch of things, but they're basically like that. It can happen in a bunch of different ways. Some of them are run by individual companies, like all the major grocery chains, have programs where you register your club card or whatever it
Mhm.
is, and you can link it to a nonprofit like a school, and
Mhm.
then a certain percentage of everything you buy
Mhm.
goes directly to the school.
Okay.
There are places, the script providers that are more general than that sell what essentially amount to gift cards, but a percentage of the gift card
Mhm.
goes. And there's several different ways of implementing that. If you went that way and still did like the marketing and promotion that you have here,
Mhm.
I think that would be a far easier way to go, and you wouldn't get into all the
Oh.
security concerns.
Mhm. So most of your concern is mostly security.
Yeah,
Okay, I think that's fair. I think I'll have to talk to the rest of my team about
yeah.
that.
And the other thing that kind of ties in with that, and this is a later question about maintenance.
Mhm.
First of all, that's a really good question. A lot of people forget when they're thinking about things like this, forget to think about maintenance.
Mhm.
If you're having something written by student programmers, 5 years from now, when something needs to be fixed, that program is probably gone.
Mhm.
So maintenance would be a tough problem too. Again, if you were going with the script providers or grocery store programs, you wouldn't have that to worry about either.
Okay. Um. Hold on. I don't think I have any other questions because I think the stuff we talked about. I had other questions here, but I don't think they would be able to apply to what we just talked about just now.
Yeah, yeah, and like the 5%, I don't
Right.
really don't have any idea.
Right.
I know I've seen script numbers returned to organizations going anywhere from 1 or 2% up to 10%. So I think it kind of depends on the individual company.
Mhm.
Uh,
Right.
but again, I think if you can find some way to get past the technical application part and go to the community involvement campaign,
Mhm.
and I assuming that you actually want to try to
Right.
carry this out and implement it, I think
Mhm.
that's might be
Well,
the best way to go.
well, that's our hope, but like I said earlier, it's not guaranteed,
Yeah, yeah,
But I think what you provided just now would definitely give us an idea where we want to go.
yeah. Okay.
Is there any other questions? I think that's about it.
No, I don't have any, but feel free to get back in touch with me
All
anytime
right.
if there's anything else I can do to help.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Yeah, all right. You have a good day.
You too.